Hello guys, we are starting business valuation today. In business valuation, we calculate the value of a company while it is being merged with another company or while another company is taking it over. Okay, so there are different kinds of methods for business valuation. First is net assets valuation method. Then we have dividend valuation method. Then we have PE ratio method. Then we have earnings yield method. Fifth is free cash flow method. And sixth is market capitalization method. Net asset valuation method has three bases. First is historical cost basis, then we have realizable value basis, and then we have replacement cost basis. Dividend valuation method is a part of the free cash flow methods. In the free cash flow method, we um, use to compute the value of company using cash flows, whereas in dividend valuation method, you would have done previously the DVM method to calculate the cost of equity. That is a very much similar procedure to compute the value of business as well. Then we have price to earnings ratio method and earnings yield method. Both of them are income based valuations. And last we have market capitalization method, which is computed using share price per share into number of shares. The first method is net assets valuation method. Value of business is based on net tangible assets a business has. Format is total value of assets minus current liabilities, less intangibles, less non-current liabilities. Then you compute net assets value divided by number of ordinary shares, you get value per share. Then we have dividend valuation model or dividend valuation method. Value of business depends on future dividends on of the company. This is next year dividend. The D1 in this um, formula is next year's dividend. KE is the cost of equity and G is the growth rate. If future dividends are given, then you have to compute present value of all future dividends, and KE is your discount factor. In that way, you calculate the value of business depending on future dividends. Then we have price to earnings ratio method, but we will do it in a bit. Let's first discuss the questions. If you see this question, net assets method of share valuation, they have given you the balance sheet of Cactus, and non-current assets are mentioned: land and buildings, plant and machinery, motor vehicles, goodwill. Total non-current asset are given. Then we have current assets, inventory, receivable, short-term investment, cash, total current assets. Then we have current liabilities, payables, taxation, proposed ordinary dividend. Then we have total current liabilities, and next we have is loan notes, deferred taxation, um, and ordinary shares of $1 and reserves. Then we have 4% preference shares of $1 that is redeemable, and it says what is the value of ordinary share using the net assets basis of valuation. So this is going to be total value of assets is around 440, I believe, 280 plus 160, yeah, 440. um, and you have to subtract current liabilities from it. So current liabilities are 1 lakh, you will subtract 1 lakh. So the first row, that is total value of assets minus current liabilities, the answer is going to be 340,000. Subtracting intangibles from it, what are the intangibles in this case? We just have goodwill as our intangible, so subtracting 20,000 from it. And then we have non-current liabilities, um, which are of 120,000. Why 120,000? Because 50,000 of preference shares, 10,000 of deferred taxation, and 60,000 of loan note. So 60 plus 10 plus 50 gives you 120. Once you subtract all of that, you will get net assets value of around 2 lakh. Dividing it by number of ordinary shares of 80,000. Why 80,000? Because ordinary shares are of $80,000 and they are issued at $1 per share. So that means that the number of ordinary shares are 80,000 in total. So 2 lakh divided by 80,000 would give you $2.5 value per share. Okay. Next we have is the test your understanding one question, that is a dividend valuation model question. A company has the following financial information available. Share capital in issue are 4 million ordinary shares at a par value of 50 cents. Then we have current dividend per share, that is just paid at 24 cents, and dividend 4 years ago was 15.25 cents. Current equity beta is 0.8. We have current market return of 15%, that is the RM, and risk free rate is 8%, that is the RF. Find the market capitalization of the company. So first of all, you need to compute the P naught is equal to D1 over KE minus G, where your KE will be computed using the CAPM model. Why? Because RF and RM are given. So RF plus RM, that is 8% plus 15% minus 8% into 0.8 would give you a cost of equity of 13.6%. And then you have a growth rate of 12%, which needs to be computed. It is not computed. How will you compute it? You know, when we do not have the growth rate, you need to compute the growth rate in that case, right? And when you need to compute the growth rate in that case, 0.24 is your current dividend per share, that is the latest dividend. I am taking the values in dollars and not in cents, which is why I said 0.24, and divided by 0.1525 to the power 1 over 4. Why? Because dividend 4 years ago was 15.25 cents. So that tells us that there was a chance of growth for over 4 times, right? So to the power 1 over 4 minus 1 would give you a growth rate of 12%. So you have the KE, you have the G. All you need to compute is the D1. And how will you compute the D1? 0.24 into growth percentage, that is 112%. Why 112%? We consider that their current dividend is 100% itself. You just need to add the growth to it in order to compute the next year's dividend. So adding growth to it, it would give us a percentage of 112%. So 0.24 into 112% would give us D1. That is how you will compute your P naught, that is $16.8. I'm not computing the answers for example 1 or example 2. The reason is that I am pretty much sure you guys can very easily do it, which is why I'm just explaining how to compute the answer. I'm not doing it on the notebook. Okay, once you have computed that, make sure whenever you compute the value of the business, you compute it as per share and as total. So total market value is equals to current share price into number of ordinary shares. So you got the share price, that is the current share price, that is the P naught, as $16.8. What you need to do is you need to multiply it by the number of ordinary shares. Now what are the number of ordinary shares? 4 million ordinary shares were issued. So multiplying it by $16.8, you get $67.2 million. Okay. This question 3 you will be doing on your own. Um, let's move on to the other question now. Also, before we start discussing the other question, um, the PE ratio formula is market price per share over EPS, and this is how you compute the PE ratio. But just in case, because in the question you do not have to compute the PE ratio, you have to compute the market price per share. That is the ultimate thing that you need to discover. So for that, your formula is going to be this. Okay, let's now look at the question. A Limited is thinking to acquire B Limited, whose extract from P&L accounts and balance sheet is as follows: 50,000 is the sales, and cost of sales is 20,000. Interest cost is 4,000. Tax is 30%. The PE ratio of similar companies in the industry is 8.5, and share capital value is 10,000. Reserves are 20,000. Value per share of B Limited using PE ratio basis needs to be computed. Now, what would you do? You have the PE ratio of sector average, right? That is 8.5, and you have the, let me provide this solution to you. You have the PE ratio of the sector average. Now, you do not have the EPS and you do not have the market price per share. So, first you need to compute the EPS. How will you compute the EPS? The formula is PAT minus preference dividend over number of ordinary shares. So you already know that your PAT is going to be 50,000 less 20,000 um, less interest cost, that is 40,000. So that is going to be 26,000. Your preference dividends are not mentioned in the question, so you are not going to take any preference dividend, that is going to be considered zero. And the number of ordinary shares are 40,000. So in that way you can compute your EPS, multiplying it by the 8.5, that is the P ratio of sector average. You are going to get the market price per share of $3.8675. Multiply it with the 40,000 number of ordinary shares so that you can get the total market value of the company.